Yeah, it was moving. The thing is, I know if I am at top speed, I'm one of the best, you know, and one of the best that's currently running now. I'm grateful for the guys showing up and doing what they needed to do and stepping up. I just knew that I just had to just get the baton and run. Got us the medal and brought it home. I think that's like a really proud moment for the country. And I think because it came as a team event, I think South Africa valued it more. My family keeps me grounded. My mom a lot, my dad a lot. Those are people that have done very well for themselves in life. Are still people. They're still human. They're still like really great people. I don't take the noise too hard. I understand that, yes, people see me and it's like I understand the achievements that I have and everything, but that is just what I do. It's not who I am.
Cool. So we all know who you are, but can you introduce yourself and kind of tell us the journey from breaking junior records all the way to where we are now?
Phew. So I'm Akani Simbine, South African athlete, sprinter, 100-meter sprinter to be more specific. Yeah, man, I think my athletics career is not one that is a typical athletic career. Like I never wanted to be an athlete. That wasn't a plan for me. I was a footballer. I wanted to play football. I wanted to, be a football star. And athletics kind of caught me. And when I broke the junior record, that's when I actually was like, okay, cool. Let me actually try this thing and take it really serious. But um, like that was me choosing something I didn't even know where it was going to take me. I didn't know anything about the sport. I didn't know that there's the Olympic Games and how big it was, or there's World Championships and how big it was, or there's a Diamond League and you can travel the world and all these things. I didn't know that. I was just so fixated on the soccer dream and playing in Europe and playing Champions League and all these things, And I think when I broke the SA Junior record when I was 19, and I got a manager, and he started telling me, okay, you can travel the world, you can make money, you can actually build a career for yourself, you can do X, Y, and Z with yourself, and you can actually grow something long lasting. And he I just bought to the fact that I could travel the world and also just see a different place in South Africa, because athletics was the first, how do I say, sport or thing that could actually take me outside of the country or on a plane. Before athletics, I had never been on a plane. I'd never been to Tambo. I'd never been anywhere close to the airport. I lived close to the airport. I used to see the planes flying past us every day, but going there wasn't even a thing of, the mind. But yeah, that's where my story began, and then I started just looking at athletics and starting to enjoy it and starting to learn about it. And I always say that I got thrown into the deep end because when I had ran 10:19, at that time, 10:19 wasn't good enough to qualify for World Championships. And in 2013, no, yeah, in 2013, I got chosen to go to the World Senior Championships in Moscow. And for me, that was like, okay, I'm going to Moscow. Cool vibes. But now I'm going to Moscow, going to compete against Johan Blake, Usain Bolt, Justin Gatlin, like these guys, these big names in the sport. And I know nothing about the sport, and I'm going to compete against these guys, and from that championship, that's when I actually started seeing, okay, this thing is actually really serious, and I need to start taking it really seriously and making sure that I become a better athlete. And yeah, that's like the beginning of my story.
Cool. And being part of Team SA, like what does that mean to you?
It's really great. Like for me, it's an honor to be part of the like Team SA. To represent your country is a huge honor. I think I always also wanted to kind of represent South Africa, playing for Bafana Bafana. That was the whole dream. And um, after that, I literally was like, okay, no, what, I believe I can. So yeah, I think for me it was it's always an honor to represent South Africa, you know. And growing up, I always wanted to represent South Africa, but in the football space. Now I'm doing it in athletics, which is really great, you know, to represent South Africa as one of the fastest men in the world is always great. Being part of Team SA is always great. You know, you're representing, I think, 50 million people that we have, or 55 million people that you have at a championship where it's like the fastest of the fastest, the best of the best in athletics. You know, that's really great. And for me to kind of champion that for sprinting in South Africa, you know, and take it to the world, that's also been like a really big honor and a really big thing for me.
Yeah. Like you spoke about that experience, like 2013, there's Bolt, Blake, you know, Gatlin, those guys. But you've been in 3 consecutive 100-meter finals.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say like your experience has evolved with each experience?
I think with each experience, I think I grew up in athletics. Like a lot of my young adult life was learning about the sport. And I got into a championship in my first Olympics 2016. You know, it was me, I think it was literally my first major final that I made. And for me, it was, yo, you're in a final, bro. Like, that job done, you know, you don't have anything else to do. And I came fifth in that final. And then my mind had to switch to a thing of like, you're fifth fastest in the world at the Olympic Games. Like, you're actually really close to a medal. Now you start seeing, okay, like, I actually can actually win a medal. Now I can go into championships and thinking with the mindset of, I actually have a chance, you know. And I had to switch my mind to that and train towards that, you know. And then going to Tokyo, it was not just going to Tokyo to make a final, it was going to Tokyo to win, you know, and come back home with the medal. Same as this year, it was going to Paris to win and come back home with the medal. It's literally gone from just me trying to fit in the sport to me actually making a actually stand in a difference in the sport and growing in the sport and being someone in the sport and in the sprinting space of the sport.
Yeah. How was it when you actually did run that new national record? Like, talk us through that race. I mean, it was
I think
intense.
like that conversation I had with Leon, man, I think it was more of if I want to win, I need to run a national record. You know, if I want to get a chance, I need to go at that pace. You know, I need to go faster than what I've ever been. And um I knew that that year, you know, this year I was in the best shape I've ever been in. My headspace was right, and I really had prepared in the best way I could prepare, you know. And I told Leon, like, everybody's gonna come hot. I also need to make sure I'm hot and I'm ready, and nothing is gonna disturb my flow. And we we started the heats, and I think with the heats it was just you know, just get through. You know, I believed that it was going to be an easy shot to just get through. It was fine. Then the real game started in the semifinals, you know, when that's when you need to qualify for the final. You know, it's 8 spots that are waiting from 24 guys that are trying to get 8 spots, you know, and you want to be one of those 8, because if you're one of those 8, you have a shot to be Olympic champion. And when I got into the semifinal, I was like, okay, it's me, it's myself, it's Letsile, it's Lamont, yeah, those 3, you know, they win there, and I was like, you know what, that's fine. Like, I know what shape I'm in, and I'm ready to actually go. So let's go. Got out the blocks, and I just saw everything just ticking, you know, moving as it should, you know, and I felt good. And crossed the line first. And then I was like, okay, yeah, we're actually in it for the final. Like, I feel good for the final. I'm ready to go. I told coach, like, I'm ready to go, you know, and I just need like everything just to go align and everything to just move as it was in the semifinal, you know, and I know that I have to run to the line and not switch off. Got to the final, you know, the whole show and, you know, the lights and whatnot. And there I was just like, hey man, it's showtime. Let's just go at it and see what's happening here. I've prepared for this moment. I know what to expect going onto the track. I know what to expect going onto the track. It doesn't change. It's still the same stadium and still packed people in the ground, and I'm still gonna have to perform. And I just told myself, you know what, this is a moment you've been waiting for, but don't let it like shock you or anything. It's the same thing that you've been doing every day. And yeah, man, we raced. For me, it's my best race I've ever been in, and the best race that I've ever ran because of the fact that we were all so close. Like it just like for me, it just shows how um close we are as a group of sprinters. Whoever's best on the day will get it. And that's really exciting, because you can never just bet on someone like Spoolie and say, yeah, like, the Usain era, it was just Usain, Usain is gonna win. Fine. Now it's like, you don't know, whoever feels like they are, or whoever has their best day that day is gonna take it, which is really exciting, man. And I think when we crossed the line and we were all just waiting for who came first, second, third, I was just like, okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. And it just literally the board just said the board just literally said photo, 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 photo for all of us. And we're just like, no ways, bro. Like it couldn't be like that close. And they showed us the video and they were like, oh snap, like literally I understand why. So it's like this. Then Noah's name came out, 979, Cachet 979, Fred and 981, myself 982. I'm like, oh, okay. I came fourth again, but this time around, the fourth wasn't as disappointing as it was in Tokyo. The fourth was more of a, bro, I just ran a national record. I said I needed to run as fast as I've ever ran to actually be in the shot, and to actually want to win. And I did that. I gave my best run, and it was really great race, and it was exciting, and I was, I was happy. I was content. Yes, I wanted the medal, but it still didn't take away the contentness that I had there. So yeah, man, that was the race, and it was just good vibes and good feel. And I think everybody felt that, everybody wanted to win. Everybody wants to win, but there's only going to be three medals that are given out. But at the end of the day, I finished fourth at the Olympic Games, and I got a national record out of it, and I ran the fastest I've ever ran in a final. So, man, I can only be proud of myself.
Yeah. And then we get to the relay and we finally get some
Yeah,
silverware.
yeah, man. We get to the relay. The relay had its own magic to it, man. The relay story, that also comes from years on. We've always believed that South Africa could challenge in the relay. We've always believed that South Africa could do well and be the best, or be one of the best countries in relay. We just couldn't put it together. That was the thing. We just never could put it together. And this year we came together. We had our camps, we had our preparation, and you know, when we got to the games, Benji got injured. That threw us off because it was like, okay, now we have to change what we've been training. And it was more of a thing of now have to trust each other. We got into a space where we trusted each other, and I think that's why we did so well. I remember I said to the guys after the heat, I was like, let's just watch the second heat, because if you can watch the second heat and see what's happening, um, I can gauge where we're at and how the final is gonna go. So the second heat, I was like, okay, US, they have the strongest team. They loaded, so they ran a crazy time, like 37 or something. And I was like, nah, it's fine. We were laying second in that, and I said to the guys, we actually have a shot. You never know with the US. US can mess it up. They always mess it up. They have a history of doing that, and that's their trait. So we have a chance. And got to the next day. It's finals day. We race. I see Banda go off. He's keeping us in contact. Sean keeps us in contact. Bradley now is there. He's keeping us in contact. And I see that, okay, like we're laying fifth here. And I know who I'm running against, and I know that the guys that I was running against, I can run them down pretty well. So from us being fifth, I knew it wasn't too much of a stretch for me to get to and run down. I just knew that I just had to just get the baton and run, and yeah, man, I did that and got us the medal and brought it home. I think that's like a really proud moment for the country. And I think because it came as a team event, I think South Africa valued it more than if it was just me getting an individual medal. I think South Africa is very team orientated and they appreciate team things. We are a team, they want to be a part of a group. So it was really great. And just to receive the response that we got from everyone was really awesome. So yeah, man, we got the job done and it was really exciting.
Yeah, it was a funny one. We were sitting here in the office, and I think we were rewatching the race,
Mm,
and it looked really quick.
mm.
So we went and we did research, only to find out that was the third fastest anchor leg of all time.
Yeah, I saw that from you guys, and I was like, "Oh, crazy! I didn't know that." But yeah, it was moving. The thing is, I know if I am at top speed, I'm one of the best, and one of the best that's currently running now, and we know. Like I always say to the guys, like, if you give me the baton in contact with the other guys, I will run them down. Like, and the circuit knows that. Like, everyone knows that, and it just shows like the actual speed that I have in my legs and everything, which is really great, man. And just to be behind Usain and Asafa, man, those are greats, bro. Those are people that, they changed the game, and those are people that I studied in the beginning, So it's really, really great to be in the conversation with likes like that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. But I think over and above that, and I was with you guys at that Potch relay
Hmm.
session.
Hmm.
And it was quite nice to see your passion because I think, again, we kind of sit there and we go, no, but you've been there and done that. Like, this thing shouldn't be all that. There were a lot of lighties, youngsters
Mm.
in the room. But I think, and I picked it up with yourself and Wade, kind of the mentorship where you guys are like bringing that next batch through. But what was it like, sharing this historic moment with a school child? I mean, I'm not even being disparaging here, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think
I,
he's the youngest South African Olympic medalist since readmission.
yes, yes,
Uh,
I think he is. I think for me, I didn't look at him as a teenager. I looked at him as an athlete. Like, you are here, you are gonna be an athlete, and I don't care how old you are. I don't care whatever. You stepped on the track. You must perform like an athlete, like we all are. And um, I think I gave him that feeling that I gave him that respect. Like, bro, you are here. You're gonna participate like us. So I need to respect you like that. And giving him and Brad, because they were both teenagers, still are, Um, I you know, I don't, I don't like when people say I mentor them and stuff. I am their role model and all these things. Because for me, I don't do that intentionally. I just want to kind of show them, okay, guys, it actually is possible to do this thing at the best level. But, you guys have got to do it in a certain way, and you guys have got to be professional about it and not look at it in just, I'm just playing around, as much as it is entertainment, as much as it is just sport, be professional about it, and um, I think Bayanda understood that. Bradley definitely does understand that as well, and it's one of those things where for me, I'm I'm grateful for the guys showing up and doing what they needed to do and stepping up, and I just hope that they are able to take this next steps forward and grow themselves as sprinters and be the actual sprinters that South Africa needs for the next generation. Because, yo, man, I'm gonna be here for the next 5 years, and I'm dipping, you know. But they need to take it on next. and they need to take it to the next level. And, you know, get the younger guys under them to also take it to the next level. That's the only way we can build like a proper sprinting culture and a proper sprinting group, and more athletes coming in the system, more athletes, going to the leagues, going to Olympics, going to world championships and competing, and actually competing to win, not just get knocked out in the heats, because that doesn't help. It doesn't help the sprint culture, doesn't help people wanting to come into athletics, doesn't help athletics in South Africa, and that's what I am trying to kind of, push.
Yeah. Tell me, I mean, can you explain to South Africa how exciting our sprint life is right now? The people you've mentioned, you've left Sean out of this, but we're talking 18, 19, 22, I think,
Yeah.
that ran with you.
Yeah.
Like, for me right now, it's just something that I have with my friends. I'm like, guys, do you understand where we are? Because,
Yeah.
and I think Wade also touched on it yesterday when we chatted, when he was like, it's nice to have the Zacks, the lives of the world, because it's been you two who've been the sprinters. How exciting is the sprint world looking for South Africa?
It's for me, it's actually really exciting because it's taken me back to 2017, because that's when South Africa sprinting was at its peak. We had so many guys running 10-0s. We had so many guys like challenging to actually, take the spots to go to world championships or take the spot to run the relay. And athletics was exciting because of that. You'd go to SA champs knowing that it's not going to be an easy game, and seeing that the younger boys are stepping up now, and they are now championing, the next youth, the next generation of sprinting and athletics. It's really exciting because it means that after Wade and I, there's still a continuation. Right now we have the opportunity to kind of show them the way, and show them that, okay, this thing is possible, but we also have a chance to, be part of that story as well. Not just write ourselves off and say, yeah, we've done our part and everything. Now we're kind of withering away. You got to be part of it. I want to be part of it. Wade wants to be part of it. But it's really great to see Sean, Bayanda, Bradley, Dambile, Lux, Benji. There's so many guys. I've just named 7 guys, and there's so many other ones that are coming up, and they are showing us that, it's actually possible to have a big group of sprinters that are going to compete. Because once they compete against each other, they're going to push that level. They're always going to want to up each other. They're always going to want to do better than the other. And that's what now drives the performances. That's what now drives the times, because now the one is going to want to up the other one, and no one wants to be second. Everybody wants to be first, and they want to be SA champion. They want to be the fastest South African. They want to be the one that is the face of sprinting in South Africa, But at the end of the day, you've got to beat someone to do that. And when you have that drive in you to want to be number one, it's going to be good for us. So it's really exciting times. And I just hope that the guys do take this thing professionally. They do get the support that they need to get. And, it allows them, the system allows them to grow and be that.
Yeah. And when we're talking kind of training and preparation, can you give us a glimpse into sort of what your daily routine looks like?
Bro. So in the morning, I have my first session at 8 o'clock. And then that will be like 2.5 hours. I'll finish at 10:30. Then from 10:30, I go to the oxygen tank. I go into an oxygen tank for an hour. I come home, I eat, try to get a nap in for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, get up, shower, get ready for my next session, which is at 3. And then from 3 to 6, I'm on track. So that's literally my Monday to Saturday. Saturday switches up because we only have one session, and Saturday we'll go in at 9 in the morning and finish around like 11:30 or something. And then sometimes I'll have physio right after. Other days I won't, but I'll need an ice bath and stuff. So my Saturday actually really only starts at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I have a day and a half of recovery that I need to do before Monday kicks off again.
And from a mental perspective, how do you prep yourself mentally before a race?
So I have a therapist. I speak to my therapist. Actually, the therapist that's Cock actually provided for us, and I've been speaking to her for a year now, and she's really been great for me and my mental side. And like for me, the mental side has been a very big thing because I went through some stuff, that got me down and in depression and all these things, and I had to pick myself up. And now being able to have someone that I can talk to on that level really helps, because if I don't have someone to talk to or like that, then it's a struggle, man. It's a real struggle, and I don't think the mental side of sport is spoken about a lot or enough, and that a lot of athletes actually go through it. They just don't. They're too shy to speak about it. But it's really something that happens, and it's something that we need to talk more about. Because it is hard. Like it is really hard to go out there into the world and expose yourself and put yourself in a position where the world can have any opinion about you, and then that kind of it builds a picture about yourself because of what other people build on you, and I think for me, I've had that and I got to a point where I took back my power from that, and I'm without athletics, I'm fine. I'm grand, With athletics, I'm also sharp, but it's given me that position where I'm fine as myself and no one can take that away from me. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we're lucky that in the world in general we are speaking about mental health a lot more.
Mm.
Um, and I don't know if 10 years ago any man would openly say that they see a therapist, whereas now it's not seen as a weakness, it's actually seen as the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to be broken to see a therapist. You just have to, it's just like you go to the gym to keep your body fresh. So it's good. I've got a fan question here. It says, what do you eat to fuel your body for maximum performance?
It's everything, man. It just needs to be cooked. Like literally. My dietitian, she says just eat, just make sure you're eating, but eating cooked food and get your veggies in, get your carbs in, get your protein in, but just make sure it's cooked. Don't get it fried. Don't go buy McDonald's. Don't go buy Steers and all these things because that's not going to give you energy to train, Because for us, it's having enough energy to train, and being able to burn all that energy because our sessions are really like they're tough, and they take a lot out of you. It's not like the distance runners, they run long, Our sessions are not like that. We do shorter sessions, but they take a lot from the body and take a lot from the nervous system. And that is what you need to charge up again. And so yeah, man, I just eat cooked food. I make sure we have cooked food. We are healthy. And yeah, always keeping hydrated. Water is also important.
Do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions?
Nah, I just listen to music. I have to listen to music when I'm warming up. I think if I don't, it doesn't get me in my zone. So I listen to music, and it can be any music, it's in hip hop, I'm a piano. It just depends on that day, and that I feel like okay, today I feel like I'm kind of groovy. Let's go to I'm a piano. Today I feel kind of like I want to listen to lyrics and rap a bit. Then I go to the hip hop side.
Who's your hip hop go-to?
Biggie.
Ah, yeah, no, we go through a lot of that here. But
Yeah.
I've become like, growing up it was like East Coast, West Coast. We don't
Mm.
mess around. Now I'm that guy who's just like, no, both coasts make good music.
Right.
Can't
Music is
forget
music
about
at the end of the day, man. Like, man, like I don't discriminate, bro. Like I feel like if I can connect with it, if I enjoy it, then cool, let's go. You know what I'm saying? So the music side, man, music is very important for me and for me to actually get into my zone, to actually get to, racing and making sure that I'm in my zone to actually race. Like I'll even listen to like really hard hip hop, the ones was like steep, but that kind of like gives me that thing, and it's really cool, it's like it's a fun thing to do and I enjoy it, man.
yeah. Like you were talking about kind of the hours that you put in and that, and you got married
Last year,
last year, yeah.
yeah.
What kind of sacrifices
Yeah.
to get into the Olympics? Because I think again, a lot of this stuff is we'll see a couple of golden leagues. Oh, Akani raced like 4 weeks in a row, and then he won his medal at the Olympics. But like you say, there's a lot. It's a job,
It
and,
is,
and,
man.
and that job also affects
The personal
other
side of
things.
things,
So,
like
what are the kind of the sacrifices that you've made to get to this level?
I think it's just sacrificing family and sacrificing those precious moments with family, and my family, my wife specifically, and the kids, they also have to sacrifice just knowing that I'm not going to be around and not trying to be where I'm at because they know that I'm working and I'm preparing and they'll see me in a couple of months time and it'll be fine, and just missing out on a lot of things, with the kids as well, not being able to, see some experiences that they have, and not be able to physically be there with them. And also my wife being alone, like leaving her, yeah, at home. It's also like a hard thing, and you know that also where you're at, you're also gonna be lonely. You're in a position where you're lonely, but you kind of have to kind of put yourself back in and say, yo, I'm here for a purpose. I'm not here because I'm on holiday. I'm here for work. And I also know that this career is not a long thing. It's not gonna be a forever thing. It ends sometime and I won't be able to get to travel and see the world as much as I do when it does. So rather now than later. And just yeah, Liz, I think it's where we're at now. It's just a family time, man, and just sacrificing my family for it.
Yeah, no, I can imagine it's tough.
Mm.
I've got another fan question here, which is quite a nice one. Arthur says, Sorry, how does it feel to be among the greats and you being one of them?
I don't see myself as that, I think my story is still being written, but um, I there's two parts to this. Like I know I'm one of them. I know I'm part of that story. I know I'm part of that list, But right now I'm not trying to kind of get lost in that. There's still so much that I want to do with my running and with how I am as a sprinter and how I show South Africa that we can be great. We can compete against the world. And it's not just in sports, it can be with anything. That's my whole thing. It's not just sport. It's in every facet of the world, in the economy. Let's be the best that we can be. We have the potential. We have the spark. Let's just go out there and do it. And um, thank you for seeing that in me and calling me that. But yeah, man, I believe that is there, but it's my story is not written completely yet.
But I think again, if you put it into perspective and you take yourself out of yourself
Mm,
and you go, and this was another thing where we are having a chat about the magnitude of making 3 Olympic finals.
yeah.
When you hear the introduction of Bolt, Gatlin, DeGrasse, Blake, Simbine, that's a race. I think that was 16, eh?
Yeah, that was 16.
You sit there and you go, yeah, I guess Arthur does have a point, though.
Yeah, man. If I take myself out, I'm like, yeah, I am one of the greats, and I'm one that is my story can be told about how consistent I was in the game and how I've managed to be one of the best and stay consistently there, you know. It's really a great thing for me because it's like I've told my story has been a story of always showing up and being there. And if I show up, I'm gonna be the best that I can be, and it's gonna be a race, and I'll always be there, and it's like that thing that I really take, and I'm saying like, like I actually am one of the greats and I see it, but there's still more greater things to do before I can put like a exclamation mark on Akani Simbine the great, you know.
Yeah. Um, I think what was quite special for me was the commentary of the race.
Mm.
I don't even know what that gentleman's name is, but he's just like that voice of sprinting.
Yeah.
In all of this, we get the silver medal, and he called you out and he said he's so happy for you. Like, I thought that was really, really special coming from someone who we know commentates and watches a lot of sprinting, and he's like, I'm just happy for you. Like, it was a really touching moment. And I think, just want to touch on that, I think it takes us to your humility and how do you stay so humble. Again, we've just spoken about the great and people that you've raced with, people that you're seeing on par with. How do you stay so humble?
I think I just don't take the noise, I don't take the noise too hard. I understand that, yes, people see me and it's like, I understand the achievements that I have and everything, but that is just what I do. It's not who I am, and if you had to take what I do out, then who was Akani? You've got to be able to say Akani was X, Y, and Z, whatever you want to say about me, but not Akani was an athlete. He ran really fast. He did, he ran in the Diamond Leagues. He ran at the Olympic Games. He won medals. That does not talk about who the person is, and I don't want to be known for the accolades. I want to be known for who I am and what person I am and what human I am, and I think it's taken me a while to get to this point where I can answer you like this. If this was done maybe 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I would have said, yo, man, I am the great, I am a great South African sprinter. I am a great world sprinter, and I would have still been humble, but not to this extent. I would have still spoken about the athlete and not the human side of things. So I think that's why, man. And I think my family keeps me grounded. My mom a lot, my dad a lot. Those are people that have done very well for themselves in life, but they are still people. They're still human. They're still like really great people and still really amazing people. And that's the people that I look up to and want to emulate life like them.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I think, as a parent myself, our dream is for our kids to go, all I want to do is be like you, Dad.
Yeah.
Like again, I could do all of the things in my career, but when I get the accolades from my son, I'm like, I feel like
Yeah, man. You feel like when my son tells me he wants to run as fast as me, I'm like, bro, do it. It's fine. Like it's really like it's cool, bro, because it's like that's someone that's a part of you saying they want to be the current you. And I always say that you must do be better than me. Whatever you do, just be better than me. And it's really great to kind of have someone that is from you say that about you.
Yeah. This is my question, personal,
Yes.
mine. Do you guys have an international sprinters WhatsApp group?
We used to. We used to. There was a point where Water Lilies did something like they did this whole media thing and they had us all on one group, but they stopped it. But we have each other's numbers. We talk. All of us talk. There's a few people that don't talk. They really don't like each other, but majority of us are fine with each other. We talk. Um, I can message you today and ask you. Can message Fred. What time is it? Like, yeah, I could message him now. It'd be morning. They greet him, say what's up. How you doing? We'll chat. Chat like mates and stuff. So yeah, man, we find like same with your hand. Can just pick up a phone and just call it. It's we do chat. We are. I think we're not in that era of sprinting where everybody hates everyone. And I want to rip your head off type of thing. Yes, when we're racing, we want to rip each other's head off, but once we cross the line, it's like, yo, bro, let's go for dinner, let's go for lunch or something. Just be people.
Yeah, I mean, I used to play rugby, and it used to be the same thing. You beat Not out of each other for 80 minutes, but the best moment was the 2 hours in the bar discussing the beating.
Yeah, literally, like you would just try to like, yo, bro, like I actually beat you, like I beat you like that today, hey. But yo, I had a bad start, yo, but yo, this thing on. Where you going next? Okay, I'll meet you there. We'll chat. We're gonna race there. What, you know? And then you just chat, and then you're like, how's the training going? How's the coaching going? How's everything going? You know, then you start finding out. You start talking to the person as a human, not as a competitor. Now it's more of a human, and then you're gonna race each other. It's inevitable that you're gonna race each other. But yo, man, let's chat. I think that's what we have with each other now.
Awesome, cool, bud. That's it. Oh, sorry. Let me just ask one last fan question. What advice would you give to aspiring athletes?
Advice to aspiring athletes: to never give up on yourself and always dream, but always don't give up. But just know that it's not gonna come without hard work.
Cool. Thank you so much, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Oh, good, man. Sorry about the mix up and everything.
No, not at all. We're here. We appreciate just getting some time with you guys.
Yes, sir.
We'll see if we can come catch up with you guys at training sometime. So are you now SA based?
Yeah, I'll be in South Africa until the indoor season. So next year, March.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we might just come do a little fly on the wall stuff.
All right, sweet. That'll be great.
Cool. Okay, all the best. Thanks.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Cheers. Bye.
Yeah.